everyone, and thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We really shouldn't have to be, right? But thank you for being here.
After the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, a coalition of reproductive rights groups and supporters gathered at Pioneer Women's Park in Las Cruces to voice their concerns. Kat Sanchez, policy co-director of Bold Futures, a reproductive justice organization, addressed those in attendance.
Abortion access in New Mexico remains legal. Because we've worked very hard in coalition with other organizations to be where we're at and to repeal the ban, because we know how important it is for people to access the care that they need.
The legal right to abortion is something that's been a major concern for New Mexico State Representative Joanne Ferrari, who has worked for years to get a pre-Roe v. Wade law off the books that criminalized abortion in the state. She says in 2021 that legislation was passed after the election of more progressive state senators.
It's kind of like the bright light in the middle of all this darkness, and we are glad that we were able to have all the different allies helping get people to vote for more progressive Democrats so that we would have those in the Senate, the votes, and now we can be a safe haven for women in states that aren't so lucky.
The decision by the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade also has some LGBTQ activists worried about what may be next. At the rally, Gage Burnett, a transgendered man, told us what he is really concerned about.
So I'm here because, like I think most people here, I was really, really upset by the Supreme Court ruling this morning. And in particular, what I'm really concerned about is the fact that the decision mentions as potentially unsettled precedent so many other issues such as interracial marriage, LGBT rights, and other rights to privacy that we take for granted now. And so to me, this is a first very large step towards a much more dangerous future for people like me and for the people who are gathered here today.
Support for those who may now travel to New Mexico to access an abortion was a focus at the rally. But Jackie Aguirre with Progress Now New Mexico says she has some concerns about groups who may now relocate to the state to help provide abortion access.
I will also say that a lot of folks from around the country will probably come here and want to provide some sort of access, and I fear that they won't do it the right way, which is communicating with our communities. And the way we have reproductive justice is when we work together and when we are working intentionally with our communities and with people here.
Aguirre says that the court's decision will impact some communities more than others.
Well, it's always people of color. It's Black, Indigenous people of color that are living here. It's undocumented folks that are already living here. It's people who are houseless, people who struggle financially. Those are the people that really struggle. And I may say it's also LGBTQ communities who struggle, because it's not just women that have abortions. It's trans folks, it's queer folks, it's people who are non-binary and gender expanding.
Gage Burnett says that this decision also creates more fear for communities.
It's scary to be alive and to be me in the world right now. It's scary as a person who's capable of getting pregnant. It's scary as a person who needs to access gender-affirming care. It's scary as a person who has other friends and who's connected to a community, not just in New Mexico, but in places where these things aren't guaranteed. Accessing abortion services, accessing gender-affirming care, these are already things that are terrifying steps to take under the best of circumstances. And criminalizing these steps makes it even harder for people to seek what is ultimately life-saving care.
Working together and organizing to protect access to abortion is what many stressed at the rally. For KRWG Public Media, I'm Anthony Moreno.